Hey, what's going on everybody? This is Noble, and today we're going to be doing an updated version of the Evil Eye deck profile. So this is one I haven't done in a long time, and I wanted to update it because it looks different now. If you haven't played against or played with the Evil Eye archetype, it's a lot of fun. It's kind of like Sky Strikers in the fact that there's only a few main deck monsters, and it has a ton of spells in it. But it has a whole lot of level manipulation and life point manipulation and can really overwhelm your opponent with high attack power super quickly. Real quick, if you haven't already done so, now's a perfect time to subscribe, hit the bell so you become part of the notification team, give this video a thumbs up, and let's jump right on into this Evil Eye deck profile. Okay, to start us off, we're going to be playing triple of Surreal Watcher of the Evil Eye. Now this one used to be expensive. In fact, this used to be the card that single-handedly deterred players from getting this deck. It always sucks when there's one expensive card and a rogue deck that you have to have three of. So this was sitting at like 20 bucks for a while, but now with the reprints you can get it ultra rare for like super cheap, and it's so exciting to see that it's more available to the player base now. So what this card does is when this card is normal summoned, you can add one Evil Eye card from your deck to your hand, except another copy of this card, literally any Evil Eye card. That's fantastic. If this card is equipped with Evil Eye Selene quick effect, you can target one special summon monster your opponent controls and destroy it. You can only use this effect of Surreal Watcher of the Evil Eye once per turn. Once per turn during the next standby phase after this effect was activated, destroy one card you control. And this card looks freaking dope as well. Next up, plain double Medusa Watcher of the Evil Eye. What this one does is when this card is a normal summon, you can target one Evil Eye card in your graveyard, accept another copy of this card, and add it back to your hand. So graveyard recursion on summon, that's really cool. If this card is equipped with Evil Eye Selene quick effect, you can target one monster in your opponent's graveyard, banish it. You can only use this effect of Medusa Watcher of the Evil Eye once per turn, and then once per turn during the next standby phase after this effect was activated, you banish one card in your graveyard. I'm running double Basilisk, I believe is how I said, a Familiar of the Evil Eye. What this one does is if you control an Evil Eye monster, you special summon this card from your hand. You can only special summon one Basilisk Familiar of the Evil Eye once per turn this way. During your main phase, you can send one Evil Eye spell and trap from your deck to your graveyard, and you can only use this effect once per turn. So I would actually run two of this because it's just easy to be out in the field. And sometimes I have wanted a second one when I only had one, so that's why I'm running two of that. So I'm also running one, not even going to try and say that, but the other Familiar of the Evil Eye. So what this one does is you can target one Evil Eye spell and trap you control once until the end of the next turn. That card cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects, which is really cool protection because they're going to be trying to get rid of your spell and traps. Trust me, you'll see why. If you control an Evil Eye monster other than this card while this card is in your graveyard, you can special summon this card, but then you banish it and leaves the field. You'll use each effect once per turn. Told you, it's not main monsters. I'm also running, lastly, I just incorporated this, triple Dark Honest. Now this one, I was super excited when Dark Honest came out, and I really like it in this deck a lot. Because it's just, there's only a few monsters, but they're dark, and this card, just having this card in your hand, it's just a lot of fun to be able to play Honest with a dark deck, and I'm really enjoying it right now. If you don't have this card, that's fine. I know it's a little more expensive at the moment, but this is just a lot of fun to play in any dark deck. Okay, so that is it for the monsters. If you want to run Ash instead of Dark Honest, that's totally fine. Go for it. So for the spells strap in, we got quite a spell count here. So we're going to be playing double Evil Eye of Selene. Now the ratios on this vary. A lot of people like playing 3 and 1, 3 and 3 and 2, 2 and 2. I like playing 2 and 2. So I'll explain in a second because this card's name becomes Evil Eye of Selene while it's on the field, so that's why that's important. But so what Evil Eye of Selene, the actual Evil Eye of Selene does, is you equip only to an Evil Eye monster. It cannot be destroyed by battle or your opponent's card effects. Also, your opponent cannot target it with card effects. Each time you activate the equipped monster's effect, or you activate another Evil Eye spell and trap card, the equipped monster gains 500 attack, and if it does, you lose 500 life points. This attack gain remains even if this card leaves the field. Well, that's important because a lot of people forget about that, and they think that just because they got rid of this card, that the monster's attack goes back down to its original value, which is not true. If this card is in your graveyard, you can pay 1,000 life points and then banish 1 Evil Eye Spell and Trap from your graveyard, accept another copy of this card, and then set this card. You only use the effect once per turn. So what Evil Eye of Gorgonio does, I believe is how you say it, so it's equipped only to an Evil Eye monster. You can only activate 1 Evil Eye of Gorgonio. I'm second guessing myself now, done got in my head. You can only activate once per turn. So this card's name becomes Evil Eye Selene while in the spell and trap card zone. While your life points are lower than your opponent's, the equipped monster gains attack equal to the difference. So that's important because a lot of times there will be a significant difference. So you can really get up there in attack value really quickly. You can banish this card from your graveyard and discard an Evil Eye card, and then add an Evil Eye card spell. Add an Evil Eye spell and trap from your deck to your hand. Accept another copy of this card. You can only use this effect once per turn. So again, the ratios, I mean, there's a lot of controversy to it. I like 2 and 2 kind of split down in the middle. I did play with 3 and 1. I just played with a lot of different ones, but this is kind of what I like. And again, if you found a ratio that you like better, absolutely go for it. But this is what I like. So next up, we are playing double Evil Eye Domain Pareidolia, and then 1 Terraforming. If you want to play triple in a Terraforming, that's totally fine. Go for it, because the spell, the field spell, is very important in this deck and it's very powerful. On top of my gosh, look, this card is one of the most beautiful cards I've ever seen. That is such a beautiful card. So anyway, what this one does is it's the field spell for the deck, and when this card is activated, you add an Evil Eye monster from your deck to your hand. Upon activation, searching out something from your deck is just really awesome. Once per turn, during damage calculation, if your Evil Eye monster is attacked while Evil Eye Selene is in your spell and trap card zone, you can make the battle damage you take from this battle also inflicted to your opponent, which is really cool. If this card is in the field zone, it's destroyed by a card effect, you can target 1 Evil Eye monster in your graveyard and add it to your hand. You only activate 1 Evil Eye Domain Pareidolia per turn. So I really like field spells that kind of deter your opponent from popping them, or at least make them think about popping them, because if you do, you're going to get something from your graveyard, which is really handy, because they're going to want to pop this thing, but you're going to get another resource back. Alright, next up we are playing triple Evil Eye Awakening. This card I just love so much. What it does is you special summon an Evil Eye monster from your hand or graveyard, or if Evil Eye Selene is in your spell and trap card zone, you can special summon 1 Evil Eye monster from your deck instead, which most of the time you're going to have Gorgonio or Selene, so you're going to be able to activate this. And you can only activate 1 Evil Eye Awakening per turn. So this card is just super helpful, and it really helps the consistency a ton. I'm also running 1 Evil Eye Repose. What this one does is when you activate this card, you can banish 1 Evil Eye card from your graveyard, draw 1 card. Once per turn after damage calculation, if your Evil Eye monster equipped with Evil Eye Selene attacked an opponent's monster, you can banish that opponent's monster. If this card is in the spell and trap card zone, it's destroyed by a card effect. You can target up to 3 of your banished Evil Eye cards and return them in the graveyard. You only activate one of these per turn. So I really like that banished recursion back to the graveyard, because sometimes you will get a nice little pile of banished cards and you're gonna want those resources back. So this is really handy. I'm running 1 Evil Eye Confrontation as a quick play spell. If you control an Evil Eye monster, target 1 spell and trap card. One spell and trap your opponent controls and destroy it. And if you do, and if you do, and Evil Eye of Selene is in your spell and trap card zone, banish that destroyed card. So it's kind of like a Cosmic Cyclone, pretty much. I'm running 1 Evil Eye Remergence. You special summon 1 familiar with the Evil Eye token. It's a Fiend, Dark, level 1 attack and defense 400. Or if Evil Eye Selene is in your spell and trap card zone, which it probably will be, you can special summon 2 instead, which is awesome. Also, for the rest of this turn after this card resolves, you cannot special summon monsters except Fiend monsters, so do keep that in mind. It locks you into Fiends. You can banish this card from your graveyard. Your opponent cannot target Evil Eye spell and trap cards you control with card effects this turn. So there is actually an argument to be made to run this at 2, just because of the token, and then also the fact that it gives your spell and trap cards protection for the rest of the turn as well if you banish from the graveyard. That's really cool. Next up, I'm playing triple Pot of Extravagance. So Pot of Extravagance, it's really nice in this deck because you do have some extra monsters that are archetype specific and they do help out a lot. But a lot of times you're going to win just with Surgial and a ton of attack power. So you don't necessarily have to rely on your extra deck, and you can use Pot of Extravagance to dig deeper into your deck without really having to worry about hitting something that's vital to your strategy or your success. And that's always nice to be able to do that every now and then, because most decks don't do that. If you don't want to run this, I mean, that's fine, you don't have to. All right, for the traps, I'm playing quite a few traps as well. Whoops, smacked my camera. I'm playing triple Evil Eye Retribution. I think I was running this at 2. Okay, if you know me, if you've been watching my videos, you know I love built-in archetype-specific negates. Like, I absolutely love it. Like, Magical Musketeers, their Last Stand is one of my favorite cards. I love stuff like this. I think they're super powerful, especially when they're searchable as well. So when a spell and trap card is activated, while you control an Evil Eye monster, negate the activation if you do destroy it. If Evil Eye Selene is in your spell and trap card zone, this card's activation effect cannot be negated. This mug is searchable, counter trap. You're more than likely going to have Evil Eye Selene or a card that treats itself as that in your spell and trap card zone. So this thing just literally can't be negated. Like, that is so helpful having multiple of these down. You only activate 1 per turn, but literally, I don't know, man. I love this card. It's one of my favorite cards in the entire deck. If you want to run this at 1 or 2, that's fine. But your boy Noble loves negates, man. I love negates. One of my favorite things. Especially like road specific negates. It's a lot of fun. I'm running 1 Evil Eye Defeat. So what Evil Eye Defeat does is if you control an Evil Eye monster, target 1 monster on the field, or up to 2 if Evil Eye Selene is in the spell and trap card zone, and then return in the hand. So it doesn't destroy, it does target, but it doesn't destroy, so it can get past quite a bit of protection. If you wanted to run this at 2, you could absolutely do so. Next up, running triple Crackdown. Crackdown's a lot of fun in this deck because you're just like, hey, give me that. That's mine now, you thought. But it's also really helpful to be going into your opponent's, going into your link plays as well. Just basically saying that, hey, I see that you have a monster, but I'm gonna take that and I'm gonna smack you in the face with 10,000 attack power. I mean, that can happen. I'm also running There Can Only Be One. This card is really powerful in this deck because you literally, like I said earlier, a lot of times your board's gonna be Surzeal with high freaking attack power. Like, so you're only gonna really need 1 monster, so you can absolutely milk this card in this deck. It's a very good strategy for this deck. And then lastly, just playing triple Imperm. Again, I know this card is still freaking kind of expensive. No matter how many times I reprint it, I think it's going to be. So if you don't have this, if you wanted to run maybe some Valor or something, or if you didn't want to run a higher monster count, you could do something else as well. But that's actually it for the main deck, guys. Let's get into the extra deck. So for the extra deck, I'm running 1 Surzeal, Ruler of the Evil Eye. So he's 2+ Evil Eye monsters. If this card was linked summon using a monster 2600 or higher attack as material, it can make a second attack during each battle phase, which is really nice. If this card is equipped with Evil Eye of Selene, quick effect, you can target 1 card your opponent controls, destroy it. You can only use the effect of Surzeal, Ruler of the Evil Eye, once per turn. Or Zurzeal, excuse me, not Surzeal. Once per turn during the next semi-phase after this effect was activated, negate the effect of 1 effect monster this card currently points to, which there is one up there as well. So that is really nice. I'm playing triple of Gorgon, Empress of the Evil Eye. So what this one does is a link to 2 monsters, including an Evil Eye monster. It gains 100 attack for each Evil Eye monster with different names in your graveyard. If this card is equipped with Evil Eye Selene quick effect, you can target 1 effect monster your opponent controls, negate its effect until the end of this turn. Well, that's really handy. You can only use this effect of Gorgon, Empress of the Evil Eye once per turn. Once per turn during the next semi-phase after this effect was activated, destroy 1 monster this card points to. And then lastly, just basically more generic stuff, because that's it for the like built-in Evil Eye stuff. 1 Barricade Board Blocker, 1 Salmagrate Almirage, 1 IP, 1 Cerberus, 1 Phoenix, 1 Unicorn, and then for the link 4s, 1 Boral Sword, 1 Avermax, 1 Apollosa, 1 Access Code, and then for the link 5, 1 Underworld Goddess of the Closed World. Again, this is extremely generic. right here, and you can play basically whatever you want to. So that is it for this deck profile, guys. I really hope you enjoy this one. Like I said before, the Evil Eye is a rogue deck, and it's cheap now, and it's like the fact that it's so much cheaper is awesome. I'm just so excited that Sergio got that reprint, and you can build this deck for pretty cheap. And I really recommend you do so. It's a whole lot of fun to play. All the life point manipulation, attack power gain, being able to steal things from your opponent. Like, it's just a lot of fun. You can literally smack them right out the game with one attack. Yeah, thanks so much for watching, guys. Let me know down in the comments below, what's your favorite Fiend deck? I would love to hear. There's a whole lot of them out there. This is probably in my top 3. I really like this one a lot. But if you're here and you haven't already done so, now's a great time to subscribe, hit the bell so you become a part of the notification team so you don't miss anything that goes on this channel, and give this video a thumbs up. Says, hey Noble, I like your video, I like your content. It gets me a little bit closer to 3,000, which we are right knocking on the door, and that's extremely exciting. So thanks so much for watching. I'll see y'all in the next video.